usual utility junglers, right? Because again, here, up against a carry who can actually itemize pretty defensively early on. Getting a Wind of Nature second item is not uncommon at all for a carry in the lane. And also the Yve, the Fanny, there's so much, well, for Fanny, mobility, for Yve, sustainability.
Yep, another thing that I would like to quote the man right here,
Candyman.
Candyman. Teamwork is very valuable. It's something that they've learned after being defeated by Onyx Esports, and that's the kind of adaptation that we want to look at in the M4 series, right? But another thing that we're also seeing an adaptation, technically it's an evolution happening on stage right here. Incendio feels like they're not going for that Ube strat at all.
It does not look like they're going for it. I agree. Falcon, though, takes away the Joy and the Benedetta. The Benedetta being one of the comfort picks for Alien. Usually, if he doesn't get the Benedetta, he goes for the Grok. But now, Falcon, because they have first pick in the second phase, they might actually just be the ones to take it away from Alien, right? We haven't really actually seen Alien find a whole lot of success away from the Benedetta and the Grok. If he doesn't get those two heroes, Lapu, perhaps we could see Alien go on that, but definitely finds comfort on banning Grok. Atlas banned away, a good ban by Incendio, respecting Naomi. But with this style of composition, Falcon might actually just go for it. Yep, there you go, the Grok, taking it away from Incendio. Alien now, caught in a bit of a pickle. You can go for the Lapu, you can dive towards the Yve and the carry, but from what we know about the carry, hey, carry does not care about your damage reduction on that Lapu.
Hey, you know what might be interesting? This might be a game for Moscow. You know, Moscow actually counters Fanny really well. He has a lot of damage to shred, you know, characters like carry one-on-one. He didn't lose to carry late game. And on top of it, most important things, you need to pick up the BH, you need to pick up the damage after Conjure ults. And sure enough, BH will be taken out, and BH late game is a monster if Divine Judgment is able to issue on anyone, especially Fanny.
They got the Yuzong right too, right? And now Yuzong Grok. Is that the matchup that Falcon wants to play with? Or with the Beatrix here, you already have a carry that does pretty well. I mean, this matchup is like skill dependent, right? You can expect Falcon to just go for something crazy, like, I don't know, this is a bit too crazy, but Natalia has, you know, been picked before by Naomi. Another choice for them might just be a Cho. We haven't seen Cho in a long time for Falcon. They go for the Lapu instead, so Grok is the roamer.
Actually, I kind of like the Lapu choice for the side of Falcon. I'm surprised it wasn't picked immediately right off the ban, because we've seen how much damage resistant that the Lapu can be after, you know, just spamming all the skills. Another thing to also take note about is the fact that if you bring, I feel like the Fanny needs to help to control the mid lane advantage for Falcon. The Yve will have a slower clear as compared to the Lilia. The Lilia could just burst it down and then start to support the side lanes where Incendio may be weak at.
Let's take a look at the total draft on both sides right here. The win condition for the side of Incendio is Kanja taking on maybe Ken, right, to make sure to clip the wings early game, make sure he doesn't get the early game advantage, start snowball. And for the side of Falcon, can they leverage the Fanny to really break Kanja before you even get to that point? And that's something we shall find out as we go into the second game.
Yep, definitely looking forward to. And I'm also kind of interested, because initially I thought it's going to be a Yuzong Grok kind of matchup, but turns out it's not going to be that anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game number 2. Boys and girls, this could be a game changer for the side of Incendio, bringing in a different strategy.
Remember, it's a best of 5
There we go.
There you go, different strategy indeed. Very early aggression from Incendio Supremacy, trying to just, you know, make some differences, adjust to Falcon's aggression. TNZ actually opted to go for the high and dry, which is going to be pretty good considering that Xiplix is going to be mostly alone. But Falcon can just adjust to that and actually rotate Naomi over to the gold lane a lot to prevent TNZ from dealing as much as possible with that high and dry.
Okay, let's take a look at the early game. Seemed pretty peaceful, right? The invade wasn't so successful. Just, you can't really invade into the Eve with Lapu and Grok. And there's so much damage, and obviously, there's so much early game aggression, especially with the way how Grok's able to pull and block the wave. And here, take a look at M4 stats.
M4 stats says that Falcon, the Bloodthirsty Kings, #1 highest first blood rate in M4, 90.9%. That's almost 10 in 10 games. 9 games, they are the first aggressors. They are the ones that picks up the first blood.
That's crazy.
You know what that means? That means if somehow Incendio take the first blood, does that mean they got a much better chance of winning?
Maybe, right? I mean, Falcon are just so good at getting these early skirmishes on. Incendio have been struggling against that. We saw that in game number 1, 2-0 start for Falcon. I think what Incendio needs to do is don't play to that same aggression. Actually, just play the opposite, right? Stay conservative, stay safe, because if Falcon are able to push the advantage here, almost.
That was just a little bit of bush check. I don't think that's intentional. Maybe like an accident, but at the same time, that's actually quite constructive.
I mean, I was blinking just now. I blinked, and okay, Zipex picked up the gold crab, but
the calculation.
Back to that, I was blinking, but here we go, Hayabusa all the way to back.
Here we go, Hayabusa into the back line, finding Ken Lo, as now it's Incendio would be the first team that moved onto the first hurdle and gaining the advantage on the map.
I like it already. Early on, what Incendio are supposed to do is they should try to stop or just avoid team fights, control the neutral objectives, because that's how they're able to win games previously. In the first game, they played a little bit too much into Falcon's hand, and now they're really starting to play around their unique playstyle, which is neutral objective control and sticking with each other to find that pressure.
Yep, Sunshine ignoring the boots, wants to get the BOD as quickly as possible. You can see Naomi and the members of Falcon setting up a gang at the top lane, but Sunshine, Spider-Sense singling, gonna back off.
Don't you just love that skin? You know, you saw the animation on Wave Clear, that looked incredible. I mean, if you haven't got the M4 Battle Pass yet, this is
Stop
the time.
flexing on the desk.
Alright, we get it. You're level 151, alright?
I'm only like level 55 or something. I'll get it one day. Slow and steady.
Oh, here we go, as Ken makes his entrance into the team fight. This is now Rosa taking low and Rosa taking down. And the First Blood King, live it to his name, Falcon, takes the First Blood.
I think that's the power of Ken right here, right? This is exactly what we want to do. Unfortunately, Incendio was the one that put a stopper in the first engage, but Falcon can finally pick up on the side of Rosa. But here we go.
TNZ finding damage onto Ken, but there are a little bit too many people. Oh, he jumped again with a shadow kill, but a beautiful dash from Ken will get himself away.
You saw that, right,
Yeah,
Marco?
did Ken cancel out the shadow kill with just the cable?
Yeah, sometimes it does happen like that. If you're able to dash away at the frame when you do the second shadow kill dash.
Mechanical God.
As you cancel, Mechanical God, springing top side, Apex 47 will find the grab. Nobi taking very, very low, though. Not low enough for him to kill. Beautiful interception from Justin will make sure that the Incendio does not find any damage into the support health bar. Bottom side, Alien. Lumini jump in with a Dragon Form, looking for some damage. But the Gold Crab seems like it won't go to the Dark Dragon on the bottom side. Alien takes it.
I mean, give it to Assassin Dave to know these small little things about each assassin, right? But looking at the emblem for now, as both of these two teams fighting, Justin already real world manipulation going down to zone out the members of Incendio from the Hard Invade. Weapon Master for the side of Beatrix, that's why she wants to get the BOD very quickly. Both of these two assassins, from Incendio and Falcon, going for the high and dry, want to do maximum damage when they are alone. But I feel like the Fanny may find more advantage right here. However, for the side of Incendio, I think they need more mid control.
Yeah, it's really good right now because, you know, honestly, I don't think it's about the mid-control there because Incendio Supremacy actually got the mid-control. It's about the decision-making.
Yep.
They went towards the purple buff instead of setting up for the turtle. It's a risk they were willing to take, but it wasn't a risk that paid off. Falcon Esports utilized that purple buff attempt, the purple buff steal attempt from Incendio Supremacy, and they said, hey, we have a lot of kill pressure here. We have Justin still with the ultimate, Naomi, and even Yellow Flash who cleared out his lane earlier. So Incendio, that attempt, using the resources to get towards the purple buff was just actually going to be a punishment from Falcon to take the purple buff, zone other members away, forcing the resources, and taking the turtle.
Oh, four-man tower dive on the top side. Rosa popping the black shoes, and Naomi jumping in with a low charge, and the result is not satisfactory. This is now Falcon looking to shove the lane before the dive to the four-man tower dive. A beautiful trade from Falcon on the bottom side, though, finding tier 1 tower and finding not only the first blood, but first objective on the map.
Yeah, it's worth it, right? Naomi jumping in while charged, stopping that engage for a free turret trade, but it does seem like Incendio will be able to get that turret. No, never mind.
Here we go. Ken coming in, doing a lot of damage to Sunshine, but with the skin buff, Sunshine's able to walk away safely.
So it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it for some weird reason. But another thing that I would like to point out is TNZ going for the Hunter Strike, whereas Ken goes to the Blade of Hephaestus. Usually we see the Hayabusa could also go for the Blade of Hephaestus as well, but I think TNZ, what he wants to do is to be able to get them movement boosts, chase down the particular targets. But another thing that I also feel from South Falcon is that, yes, I know I have a weak mid lane clear. That's where Naomi comes in with the the first skill, right? Just clears the wave very quickly. It helps. and allows Justin to rotate to match the tempo of Rosa.
Oh, look at this little sneaky rotation here. Yu Zhong already find his way to the top side. Meanwhile, Ken is sitting on the bottom and shoving the lane. Knowing this information, are we going to see Hayabusa starting the turtle? And it seems like no, Falcon Naomi will be the first one to pull the turtle away, gaining Falcon the territorial control on this side of the map yet again.
Very good vision control here from Falcon, right? They understand that Incendio members are missing from the map, so they just push into waves, and then they play it safe. They don't know where they are. They finally do now, and they actually might be looking for something.
The mask comes in. Naomi will quickly be cancelled. He will walk away safely thanks to skill 1. But now it's Incendio looking for the poke, looking for the damage. Yellow Flash, the bravest warrior, comes out. But he'll be quickly cancelled and pulled to the back. The Yellow Flash finding the damage in the back line, but it's Ken on the side. And he will put the damage and trade onto TNZ. TNZ still healthy enough to get away, but not so lucky for Aliens. He's diving to the back line of Falcon. He will be clipped to death. And this is the Falcon taking the kill number 1 and now making a move back into the turtle.
Yeah, it was Yellow Flash opening on the map.
TNZ.
TNZ going in. He stole the turtle though.
He stole the turtle like a god. The thief himself, Incendio, takes the turtle.
Wow, out-retrying Ken, right? Because you can see Ken had that retribution too. He used it earlier, just mistimed it by a bit, and Tianzi was able to just punish that, capitalize on the fact. Falcon's still leading in this game, but Incendio are doing a bit better than they did in Game 1 because they are able to weather the storm out. So now it just comes down to, let's talk about that mid-game, because entering the mid-game, I still do believe that Falcon will have the upper edge.
I mean, they will. But look at, I just want to point out, that's a true ninja right there, right? You know, that's when you pick Hayabusa, you have to make sure you know where Hana is. He doesn't always come in with a skill key with a Quad Shadow and steal something. But before that, Kasha, beautiful Divine Judgment! And a nice interception onto Ken as Incendio will shut down this beast.
See?
Hayabusa though, come back in. Might see a little bit of thingy blocking the screen, but doesn't matter. Hayabusa finding the damage onto Justin, who have to pop the flicker, just get himself away. Naomi fighting back with the wild charge. This is the entire set of Falcon diving on the side of Incendio. They find a lot of damage, not enough. Alien will find a flank into the back line as Zipix will be the first one to take him down. Alien fighting back, finding a double kill. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and Incendio takes the fight.
Whoa, what a drawn out
good one.
fight. That was really good by Incendio, baiting Falcon out, and this time around it's actually Falcon who will actually lose in these, you know, in these long fights. They have a Yu Zhong, they have a Beatrix, and the Yu Zhong right now in the mid game is gonna hit that power spike. Alien utilizing it really well, finally going for the fight. Ken though, gonna be caught.
The shadow kill, Ken taking low, it's gonna get away, sure enough. He just, thanks to the minion waves, able to get away safely.
I think in that previous team fight, right, another thing that Incendio did right is that you know that Ken is bloodthirsty. You know that Ken wants to find Rosa, shut him down. That's why if you notice how Apex 47 is positioning him around the Fanny. Once the Fanny comes in, I'm going to stun him, I'm going to pull him apart, and then destroy him. Then after that, when Falcon doesn't want a fight because it's a manpower disadvantage, Incendio forced their hand. And with that, they equalize the goal lead just a little bit. And no, sorry, correction. They gain a bit of goal lead because of that particular fight.
They're able to capitalize on the fact, right?
Yep.
And again, it comes down to how they're able to win their, play their win conditions here. Sunshine has been scaling pretty well. Zipix doing the same thing, but Beatrix will have a little bit more, in my opinion, well, more resources to play with here. Divine Judgment, though.
Apex 47 will find the Divine Judgment onto the Grok, will be taken down almost instantaneously. It's Alien now looking to fight back to the back line. He cannot find a target, but it doesn't matter. As on the side of Incendio, they will find a kill on Yellow Flash, and they take the fight. They're making a move to the Lord.
Wow.
Yellow Flash did really well, just splitting the whole Falcon roster apart. And all of a sudden, Yellow Flash is soloing the 4 members, and Falcon, the main damage dealer, Justin and Zipix, wasn't able to walk forward.
Oh, here we go, the power push. Rosa is able to push the Falcon away while they take the tier 1 tower. And Lord has not come down to lane yet. Once the Lord makes his entrance to the fight, I suspect Incendio to make full advantage of this and really extend the lead. Speaking of extending the lead, Ken says no! He finds a flank on the Sunshine. As Sunshine will be taken down, this is Falcon fighting back.
I think at this point, it comes down to who actually engages first.
Yes.
If the Yu Zhong gets that back line, it's almost over for Falcon. And the same thing goes for Falcon towards Incendio. If Incendio lose their back line, if Rosa and Sunshine aren't allowed to hit, then they're not really going to be able to win out these team fights. So let's take a look at the items just now, earlier. we are seeing that the Beatrix had the BOD, has the Malefic Roar, building towards Wind of Nature. That's going to be massive. So wait for that right there. I do believe Incendio are going to get Sunshine that Wind of Nature very, very soon here.
Maybe.
Ken's going to have a hard time.
Oh, wall
misplay.
charge barely missed. And now here comes Alien, into the Petrify, into the Dragon, but the damage on Naomi. But the real world manipulation will scare away the Incendio team, and they back away from the push. Tier 2 tower for Falcon, stay standing.
Marco, you mentioned about this uncomfortable Mexican standoff, right?
Oh.
That's a lot of damage coming off of TNZ though.
Shell
But
kill! TNZ takes the comeback, the one-on-one supremacy. Incendio TNZ takes this duel.
What a duel there, right? Initially Ken with the burst, but then Tianzi showing that class on the Hayabusa. Here Incendio are controlling the pace of the game entirely with a 4,000 gold lead, manipulating the waves really well too, and Falcon just have no answers to anything. Right now with that 5k gold lead, it's going to be really tough. Even if Falcon gets a good engage, it's Falcon who's right now relying on Incendio to make a mistake.
Yeah.
They have no way to actually go for the 5v5 unless Incendio mispositions Sunshine and Rosa.
I agree with you, Marco. You're asking that very tough question right there. What if any of these teams, the first one to pull that trigger should be the one that wins? Falcon tried to pull that trigger in the previous team fight. It wasn't Falcon that won, it's Incendio that got out alive. But let's take a look at the items right here. The Hayabusa, super tanky, even buying the Dreadnought armor already because he knows that the Fanny is definitely targeting him and he wants to outplay, and that's how he got the outplay just now.
I do want to point out the Hayabusa is sitting at about 2,000 or 1,500 gold ahead compared to Fanny. This is like the mirror opposite from last game, right? When Ken would drastically had 2,000 to 3,000 gold ahead. This is really just a comparison of who's the better assassin player here.
Oh,
Speaking of
Ken.
that, Ken might be caught up. Oh, Divine Judgment catches bird mid-air, and Incendio takes another kill.
Literally
Wow.
clipping the wings of the Falcon. Ken the man got Divine Judgment by Apex 47 mid-air.
That was the main concern with the Fanny pick onto Akaja, but Falcon are trying to do the same to the assassin. Tianzi though, won't fall for that.
It's assassin, Alien coming in though. He's looking like Alien right now, jumping in with the Dragon, 1 damage on the Yellow Flash, who is a little bit
Zoning.
too tanky for this dive, and Alien backs away. Here comes Tianzi though, jumping in, just baiting a little bit of skills, but look at the position for Rosa. This guy's ferocious, coming in with a black shoe, doing damage, but might be a little bit too hasty as he will be taken down. As Incendio does take the Lord.
What a nature.
Danny comes in. The Shadow Kill will connect now onto Naomi himself, will be taken down. Killing spree goes to TNZ. This guy is monstrous.
Falcon has no answer. Incendio Supremacy, they're the one that picked up the Turkish Delight strategy. And the barrier game that the Turkish Delight strategy was literally forgotten, deleted, removed from the moveset. Right? Falcon doesn't know how to deal with Incendio Supremacy.
And now it's only going to get worse for them because look, Tianzi was able to steal away the purple buff. Falcon with no purple buff. Ken has been struggling already up against the Divine Judgment. Now with no purple buff, it's going to be extremely hard. Oh man, Ken, that's just, yeah, I mean, against the Kaja on the Fanny, you're going to be punished every single time. He needs to be able to maneuver around the Kaja, but at this level, man, Apex is just on him, and even... Ooh. Was that Alien?
Man, it's just Falcon doesn't really have an answer as well.
Oh, here we go.
They have no other choice but to let that Lord just literally charge in. The out one random shot, you can see how Zipex just had to go back to heal.
I mean, doesn't matter what it is, that took Ken low, and Ken have to walk back now. Ken's trying to find a position to angle into the team fight. Naomi into the wall charge and the flicker, finding Apex 47 with the very tanky. The first Divine Judgment, getting Zipex, who have here forced out of the team fight, and taken down by Alien. This guy's popping off, and Incendio is now forcefully knocking on the front door of Falcon's base. They want to fight back, they want to even up the score, and they're doing it.
Yes, this is going to be Apex 47, not enough damage,
Wow.
Oh, look at TNZ though, jumping in, the Quad Shadow into the skill 1. The Shuriken can't find enough damage. Sunshine, woo, with a beautiful Wind of Nature, is able to intercept the damage from Ken, who is able to walk away safely.
You know, Rosa is that guest in your room, in your house. You invited this one
Stays
friend
too
over.
long.
He stays too long, and he stays there alone. But he effectively zoned every single member from the side of Falcon, and they need to stay in the base.
He can do that because he's rich. Look at his items, right? Even has the Winter Truncheon, so he has that, you know, he has that card. You try to tell him to get out of your house, but he's like, no, I have the winter truncheon. I can stay here. I can freeze here, and you can't touch me.
Oh, Rosa has been doing this quite a bit with Black Shoe just reset, you know, the passive on the bomb. I think this is really smart because the ultimate right now, look at his item. He has probably maxed out cooldown reduction, right? He can do that over and over again in a matter of seconds. Very, very smart move right here. That might be some item that I'm going to test tonight in my ranked games.
Man, looking at the other items though here, you can already see that, you know, for the roamer, Kaja is doing so much more, well, has so much more gold to play with. Apex 47 is practically unkillable. It's very hard. It's just, I think at this point, it's just Xyp9x who can really melt him down. All the frontliners for Incendio, not just that Kaja, but the Yuzong too. Alien is very sustainable on top of that. We even saw that he was able to out-sustain and out-damage Xyp9x in the end there, despite Xyp9x having winter nature.
Yeah, but there's another problem. Is if Incendio Supremacy even allowed Xyp9x or Justin to fight in the front lines, because you're talking about OPEC. Oh, that's a little bit scary for Naomi for a moment. It could have gone very wrong for him.
I mean, no one really want to be the first one to jump in because they know they're going to be kidnapped by this Kaja, right? He's being on point on the Divine Judgment, getting the Ken, getting Xyp9x. This guy knows what he's doing on the Kaja.
Well, not just that, right? But also Tianzi, who can do this!
Here we go, Tianzi jumping in with a shadow kill, finding just in, but the damage is being split between the two though, so nobody really got taken down super low, and now the healing coming out as Falcon is still looking pretty healthy for the next upcoming fight.
Remember, Justin still has that winter truncheon. Let's see with Divine Judgment.
Divine Judgment coming out, Naomi taking low, he's pretty healthy still. Yellow Flash coming in, and the target is Sunshine without Wind of Nature, finally popping out. Sunshine stays away. And by the way, big shout out to my friend Sunshine in Florida. Now take a look at this fight one more time. As now Falcon coming in, finding more damage to TNZ. TNZ popped the immortality. He will not stay alive. A beautiful wombo combo from Naomi will make sure that one happens.
Wow.
That's a little bit interesting coming off of Falcon, right? Don't forget, I thought Falcon was making the same mistake. Yellow Flash was overextended just a little bit. Incendio, on the other hand, I don't know what happened there. Actually using Rosa to buy some time, but Ken, because he's being a fan, he decides to know, okay, this is the main target I need to go for. Was able to push Incendio Supremacy away, but now TNC is going down. They have the Retribution. Falcon does have the Retribution advantage, but the Lord still doesn't want to go down. We could be going into a long Lord dance.
Drones coming in now. Here comes the wall. And the setup is extensive. Everybody's ready. Here comes the ultimate. And Apex 47 taking low. He does yet have the ultimate. Oh, Joby taking out first. And now Falcon making a move to the Lord. Still Apex doing so much damage. Look at him. We into the back line. He's 1v3.
Retreat.
Get the Lord. And it will be Falcon fighting back, taking the Lord by what cost? As Incendio taking 3-1 trade for kills.
Yeah, Incendio, they lost the Lord, but they take 3 members. That's 43 seconds on Xyp9x right now, and a lot of weak members from the side of Falcon. Right now, Incendio, they can actually do this push.
Oh, they can. Justin has Steel World.
Here we go. Can they clear the way fast enough? It seems like it might not be sufficient. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Incendio equalize the scoreboard. It's 1-1.
Well played, man. I think for this draft in particular, it was about the skill difference, right? It was how both of the teams execute their game plan, and Incendio Supremacy was able to execute a bit better early on, forcing a lot of mistakes and forcing Falcon to lose out on that gold lead that they were able to capitalize on. 5,000 gold lead towards the end. You could see Falcon adjusted later on in the game by actually, you know, baiting out a few of those resources to win out of that fight and to get TNT down. But Incendio, they fought through it, they baited out the Lord, and they did not let Falcon get that Lord.
It's a beautiful game coming out from Incendio, and to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I think